In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a couple of cheap webcams and a computer to create a system that automatically scores your darts. To get started, you're going to need the following: 3 cheap webcams. I use these ones, and potentially some extension cables, USB extension cables. We'll get into that later. I use these ones. Any computer, as long as it can connect to the internet and has 3 USB ports. I would also recommend that you have a 360 light ring because it's something to mount the cameras to. You may be able to figure out a solution if you don't, but I have the windmill plasma ring, and that's what I'll be using. So this is what my completed setup looks like. As you can see, I've just got the 3 webcams mounted to my windmill darts light, and the cables then go down there behind the bed. The computer that I'm using is actually underneath the bed. So I'll show you how to mount the cameras. To do that, I'm actually recreating the system on our board at work because I'm lucky enough to work for a place that allows us to have a full dart setup just like this. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you the mounting process. So here's the kit all ready to go. We've got the 3 UGREEN extension cables and the 3 Trust webcams. I'll start by showing you how to mount this to the board. So I use this Velcro stuff here, so I can cut a strip of it and then tear both sides off, and they're sticky on each side, so that means it's easier to mount to the board. So you can then stick the 2 sides together like this by the sticky sides, so you kind of get one long Velcro strip. If you're using the same webcams as me, you want to flip them around like this because they're much easier to mount this way. They get a better angle for the FOV. And then, so this is me mounting the camera. I'm just going to move the tape from here first. I've used, as mentioned, the sticky tape, so that means I can stick it to the side like this. So it's kind of dangling there like that. And now I can take my webcam and I can line it up against the back of the arm like this. And because it's sticky, it's on there solid, the tape, so that means I can kind of pull it round. You'll see in a second. I can grab it from the other side as it's, and you'll see now the actual light flex as I pull really hard to get them properly tight. You see here now I'm going to pull, you see it, the actual ring flex there, because I'm pulling that really tight. You could obviously achieve this with regular Velcro. You don't have to use this stuff. I just found it made my life a lot easier, but you can see they're on there very, very sturdy. Okay, so once your cameras are mounted, you will actually need to connect them to a computer. You can literally use any old machine. If you've got an old laptop, an old tower computer, anything as long as it has 3 USB ports, or you can, if it doesn't, you could use a USB hub to connect all 3, and 3 cameras, and obviously a way to connect it to the internet. So you will need to be able to view the screen of the computer initially, but once it's set up, you won't. I'll get to why later, but you don't need to stress about having a monitor connected to this computer. So as you can see in my case, I have the cables that go down back of the bed here, and then they connect to this little mini computer here under the bed. Excuse the mess, but there's a two USB cables, the 3rd one there, and then just the network cable here. And we'll get into why you don't need the screen later, but you will initially. So we're going to hook the screen up and show you how to actually then now set the system up. Okay, so now we have our 3 cameras hooked up and connected to our computer. This is the monitor here looking at the computer. So the first thing we need to do is actually install the AutoDarts software. So we can just open up our website, which is autodarts.io. You can just choose the downloads option here. And then obviously depending on the operating system you're using, I'm using Windows, I just click the download button, and that'll just get you the file here. So I'm just going to run the setup file. Okay, so you'll then be asked to sign in to an AutoDarts account, so you'll have to create one if you don't already have one. Once you're signed into the app, you'll just see this screen configure cameras here, so obviously it needs the 3 cameras. So I can just select my 3 cameras, so that you can see it's picked them all up. I'm going to select one at a time, and you can see there it's actually picking up the live feed from the cameras now because they're plugged into this computer. As you can see there, it's actually automatically found the 20 segment. That's how it calibrates. It looks for the 20 segment. And as you can see, it's nailed that. So now just select my 2nd camera. And then it's done the same. And I'll select my 3rd camera. So you can see we've got the 3 cameras and it's automatically picked the 20 segment on each one. That's how it calibrates. I'll just re-choose calibrate to show you there. It's picked them up. And that's great. Okay, so now your cameras are calibrated, you will just simply be taken to the system here. So this is just to show you that it's all working. You can see that it's green, and it says I can now throw at the board. The reason I mentioned that you don't need to use the screen on the computer permanently is because you can now access this from any device on your network. So I'll show you how to do that. You need to first find the IP address of your computer. So you need to open a command line on the computer. This is very basic, don't worry. You need to hit the Windows button and just type the letters CMD, and you'll just get this option for a command prompt. You want to open that up. You'll see this black box here, and you can see there's a cursor flashing here for me to type. So I'm just going to type IP CONFIG, IP config, like that, hit enter. And that will then bring up the information for this computer. So as you can see in this case here, the you need this IPv4 address. So that's for this computer, it's 192.168.69.100. So now what I'm going to do is, this is on my main computer here, but you could do this on any device. I'll demonstrate that in a second. You can go to that IP address, :3180. You don't need to worry about putting that in at the start, so you just type this into your browser, your IP address that you've just got, :3180. Hit enter, and as you can see, it takes you straight through to the same screen. And you can do this on any device. But to actually use and play darts on this system, you can just go to the AutoDarts website. So autodarts.io. You log in with your account, and you just choose play now. It's going to ask me to log in here. And it takes you straight through to this screen. So this is the actual screen that you need to use. But from this website, you can actually go into My Boards here, and you can see the board that you would have when you were setting this up. It would have asked you to name your board and register it. So I can see I've just given mine that name there. You can name that whatever you want, and you can actually start the system from here. So just from that website, you can do this from anywhere. It doesn't have to be on your network. If you're out and about, you could start the system running because your AutoDarts account actually hooks into the board system here. So that's how you do that. So now as you can see mine running there. So I can go into play, and I can just choose anything here. So let's do 501. 501, we'll just go off leave the settings as they are. Open the lobby, just leave it with just me in it. Start game. And as you can actually see there, it's used the cameras to make a view of the board. It's not perfect, just that'll just be the alignment of my cameras. But and if I throw a dart at this, it will actually it'll appear on the board.
.45.
So as you can see, the 3 darts that I threw actually have then appeared on the board there. So that just kind of shows how that system's working. But you can then actually view from, once you're in here, you can just choose the keyboard if you want to enter things manually. This view, if you just want to see kind of, where your darts are landing in precisely. The other thing I wanted to get into is how you can access this from anything on the network, just to show you. So I actually use my iPad here that's next to my dartboard setup. So my dartboard's there. I can go onto my iPad, and I can go to autodarts.io, play now. As you can see, same screen we were on a second ago. My boards, the board's running, and I can just choose to play a game. Just do a 501 against myself. You can add bots and stuff, but yeah, that's the system running there. And then I can throw at the board, and it will just be next to me here, and it will call my scores out as I'm playing. So here's some footage of the system working. As you can see, just throwing some darts at the board here, and the system is automatically picking them up. When I take the darts out, it's automatically registering my hand, knowing that I'm taking the darts out, seeing that as an event. So you can see I throw the 3 darts here, picks up the 3 scores. When I come over, it knows that I take the darts out the board, and then resets. Here's the only issue I've ever experienced with this system so far anyway. If you notice, I'll throw these 3 of the best thrown darts you'll ever see, scoring a magnificent 22. But if you look how quickly I take the darts out the board, and this is my fault, I yank them out very quickly, and it doesn't know that I've took them out because I was too quick. It doesn't really matter though, to get past that, all I would have to do is just press next. It's just worth, obviously, not taking darts out the board too quickly, and also if it does happen, you can just press the next button there and it will just go back, reset for you. Yep, so that's pretty much the end of this video now. That's how you set the system up and how you get it all working. If there's any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and of course I'll do my best to answer them for you. I've now been using this system for a good few weeks, and I've run into hardly any issues with it. If I ever have any problems with the calibration or it not picking up darts properly, it's because my camera's been knocked or something like that, and I just simply have to go into the software and recalibrate it. It's really, very easy. As long as the cameras are properly calibrated, this is pretty much flawless and it works really well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the system if you managed to get it set up.